Belton, the Worden Legacy. It's not edged, but it is steel and still has a point on it. Nonetheless, safety is a contributing factor for any kind and all kind of training. So one of the things that I think that is relevant is if his hands are behind his back, or at least one of them, just put your, there you go, just one of them. Yeah, if I can't see his hand, you know, bottom line is I don't know what's there. So do I really want him in my space? Also, I want to be able to read his stance work or his intent, you know, kind of look through, make eye contact. Hey, I don't want any trouble. What's going on? You know, and then being able to shut down and close things up. So the foot trapping, the touch points, see the headbutt in position, that type of thing. So I don't necessarily want to be immediately aggressive, but at the same time, I also want to have some deception on my side so that I can close. I've already maybe distanced back, or I just noticed that he's coming at me, and for whatever reason, I can't see his hand. So, hey man, well, what's going on? Bang! And so I want to neutralize both hands and create some kind of distraction. The foot trap also helps too. But he's younger, he's stronger than me, so I feel that this energy is resisting. So as it comes out, I'm going to let it come by and then immediately take an eye. You know, something up here where I can control something. I'm also putting hand pressure on his back, and this would be a tailbone strike, and then I could pull him back off balance. I want to steer the knife or his movement away from me, so I'm putting him in a position to where I can do that. This would be a great place to kick his leg out. Once I tilt his head, this leg becomes pretty light. Lighten the foot, lighten the foot. There it is. You don't have to necessarily go down, but because all I'm doing is kind of giving you some tips and some hinters. Okay, so on that idea, there again, as the blade comes into play, I'm moving it, and there again, I don't necessarily like the Jim Carrey, here you go, here's number one. But again, one of the things people have to realize is that you have to start somewhere, okay? But at the same time, hopefully I'm not in a prison and I'm not getting shanked or jumped in a restroom and so on and so forth. So if we just start for some practical reasons. But logically, say behind your back, and where are you really going to come out at? I'm moving, so the ability to pass and to move, okay? I don't necessarily need a forearm. I can control with my hand. But again, his hand is very fast. So if I'm trying to follow this piece here, whereas if you notice, even if you make a fast slash through, even if you notice that fast slash through, do that again, please. The idea of to get through and get in, once it's past me or through me, my time to move is once it's bridged that gap. I doubt if I'm going to have the time to intercept the first movement. On broken rhythm, broken timing, things like that. A follow-up stroke on the first movement is going to be where you're at. I can either pass that energy or ride it past and work it from there. All these factors. Once I'm here, then the trajectory line and the point of attachment to my opponent is easier to perceive as it comes through. So I can now have a better chance to control this through clothing. Hopefully he's not naked, slippery, and wet. The clothing allows me to maneuver and maneuver him and attain attachment. Okay? So if we look at just generalized movement again, and I come through, this is where different aspects of deployment come in. I like the folder. This is a Wartac rig, double knife rig made by www.survivalsheath.com. So if you like your folder, but you don't want to buy 10 different knives or carry 10 different knives, well, have a folder made, have your folder, and then have the double rig. This is a small Wartac. So it's a double rig, and I piggyback it. Also usually have one set up for an ankle or behind the back or a neck knife. Those are kind of the things that you can do. So deployment is a little bit easier. You got to know your limitations. I'm pretty old now, 62. My reactionary speed isn't what it should be. My timing, tempo, and perception has been enhanced. My fear factor is a little bit greater because I'm dealing with a younger, stronger guy. Not usually older people are going to attack older people. But, you know, if we look at that, you're preparing yourself in accordance to how you think, how you believe, and where your body has its limitations or movements. So my hands are also limited, double hand surgery, double shoulder surgery, all from this accident that I experienced. So all those factors have to be added up and then figured into what you're going to do for your defense method. So if we're here at this range, that's a shin kick and an eye gouge. So some of the things is we're not looking at is what are our support tools. I don't necessarily want to kick high, you know, or drive a side kick in there. I want to be able to keep my body into a position to where I can respond where my balance points are. This is easy for me to do, and I'm fairly fast. Even if he's coming through, I can insert a finger jab on my exit. You know, see, and keep my hands through. So as he goes through like that, then I'm back over here. You know, there again, I'm targeting the back of that leg, the kneecap, anything I can. Most important thing is awareness of the blade and movement from there. When we look at blade against blade, you know, a lot of times bring it, so you can see the matching of the speed and the movement when you have the perceptual speed, the awareness, and the ability to negate or neutralize. Very rarely, as much as we'd like to believe, in civilian life, we're not going to go edge to edge. It's going to be a surprise type of situation. And if we happen to be able to get to our blade, then we can utilize the principles of blade to blade. Most of the time we're looking at what can we do with our support tools, how can we stay away from this guy. If a knife comes into play, somebody's getting cut. There's just no way around it. So anyway, that's some of the ideas, some of the concepts. We'll move on from there.